Anthony Cumia is out of his effing mind. I tried to tell you guys a very long time ago. No one wanted to listen to me. The guy that spent a lot of time right next to him. No one wanted to listen. They're slowly finding out for themselves. The guy is out of his effing mind. Cumia chest bumped out of the club by Cub Soda. Cub Soda? Who the hell is Cub Soda? Yeah, I do support Bill Burr in that whole thing because logically, that's what you should do. Anthony is completely out of his mind. He's out of his mind. What's the story? A lot of commotion with the Anthony and the Bill Burr. There was a video, Anthony talking about what happened to him, I guess at the Cellar. Yeah, I guess he went to the Cellar after seeing his dear friend Jimmy perform. Yuck. Where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy when it comes to the Anthony Cumia versus Bill Burr thing? I'll tell you where he is. He has his taint. Jim Norton has his taint sitting exactly in the middle of the fence. That's where Jimmy is. Jim Norton, right there with his taint, right on the fence. Supporting Anthony a little bit, supporting Bill a little bit, because he doesn't want to piss off either guy. So stupid Jimmy and his dumb fat taint is sitting right there on the fence. You know damn well that to be true. Club Soda Kenny did the right thing, Jay Etheridge says. All right, we're slowly revving up. We're getting the story. All I know so far, I might know more, but as far as the live stream goes, Club Soda Kenny chest bumped Anthony out of the Comedy Cellar. This is what I know. And stupid Crumb Bomb, who I like, and others. Everyone was sending me this video of Anthony explaining what happened at the Comedy Cellar. And I've been for a very long time, I don't click on anything. And I went against my own rules twice this week. Twice. So when I break my rule, I'm going to tell you. Because when I tell people I don't click on anything, they don't believe me. I don't click on anything. But then when I get a weak moment and I click on something, I feel like I got to tell you guys. So with that said, I clicked on a video earlier this week of Anthony ranting and raving, playing video games in the middle of the night, just screaming the N-word. Hey, why don't you get back together with Anthony? Oh, I don't know. Here's reason number 182. So he's yelling and screaming like a lunatic, just throwing the N-word around like it's nothing. Look, none of us are perfect. I get it, but it gets to a point where you're like, what are you doing? And then people were sending me the video where something happened with Bill Burr, Club Soda Kenny, Amy Schumer, Anthony Cumia, Jim Norton sitting his taint right on the fence. What a phony. Jim, you're a phony. You are a phony. Anyway, so I did click on it. I clicked twice in 1 week. That is crazy. I probably haven't clicked on any of that stuff in well over a year, but I clicked twice this week. Once to see raving like a complete lunatic saying the N-word over and over again. And then Anthony explaining what happened at the Comedy Cellar. And Anthony's version of it doesn't make him look good at all. So I would love to know the real version. Because, man, he either lacks incredible self-awareness. He's like, what? He's like surprised this all went down. So I guess the story goes, Anthony went and saw Jim Norton. And then Jim Norton was at the Black Cat, Pussycat, pretty much doing the same material that he's been doing for over 10 years. And then Anthony's like, you know what? I'm close. I'm going to go to the Cellar, which is stupid because there's so many people at the Cellar that simply don't like him because of his race talk. There's a lot of people that don't like him, especially at the Cellar, because of his race talk. And then I guess he walked in. If I get any of this wrong, you correct me, bitch. And he got in there, and he got in there just in time to see Amy Schumer walk by. And following close behind was Club Soda Kenny, because Club Soda Kenny now Club Soda Kenny, he upgraded. I'm not going to lie to you. He was my security guy for many, many years. He kept me and my family very, very safe. Kenny takes his job very, very seriously. We had to deal with a lot of crap during the Opie and Anthony years, and Kenny was great at his job. Kenny is the closest we're going to get to a hybrid human being / robot. Kenny does his job like he's a robot, and he's really, really good at that. That's an actual compliment. Okay? So then I guess Amy went right into the cellar. I was going downstairs for her set. Kenny was right behind her, and Anthony was yelling, Kenny, Kenny. And I guess Kenny ignored him because Kenny was bodyguarding someone I don't really like, to be honest with you, Amy Schumer. So he was doing his job. Then I guess Anthony's in the Comedy Cellar. He admitted that he was drinking. I don't think he'd need to admit that at this point. And then he sees Bill Burr sitting there. And he thought it was a good idea to go up to Bill Burr. Now, the little I know, which is kind of a lot, I know that Anthony hasn't been too kind towards Bill Burr and his wife. And his wife. Holy crap. So he goes up to Bill Burr because supposedly Bob Kelly's like, dude, you got to figure this out with Bill Burr, dude. We all need to get along, dude. What a whole bunch of phony comedians making believe they get along with each other. They all despise each other, especially the ones that are more famous than them, but they'll sit around publicly. Hey, make sure you check out blah, blah special. He's the funniest guy in the business. But behind the scenes, they're like, F that guy. Should be me. Dude. You need to figure it out with Bill Burr, dude. Because everyone needs to get along. No, none of those guys get along. I shouldn't say none of them, but I explained to comedians like this. It's a giant pot filled with crabs, and they're all like this, pushing a crab head down over here, pushing a crab head down over there to try to get a little higher in the bucket. That's basically the comedians. I'm so sick of turning on my social media. Hey, man, make sure you check out blah, blah special. It's amazing, and he's one of the funniest people doing it today. And I know these people behind the scenes are like, F that guy. He doesn't deserve that Netflix special. But they're too scared to say their real opinions because they all have to make believe they get along with each other. It's BS. So stupid Anthony goes, you know what? I'm going to work it out with Bill Burr. Not realizing that, like, the stuff he said about Bill Burr's wife, that's a game changer. It's a game changer. Simple as that. The race crap you say is a game changer. Simple as that. You don't think that I know that some of the stuff I've said about people on this live stream and on my podcast and on the radio show over the years has been a game changer. So you live with that. Anthony needs to live with that and realize Bill doesn't want anything to do with him because of the stuff he said about his wife and the stuff he says about race in general. It's a game changer. There are people out there that I know I've said enough crap about that we're not working it out. Jim Norton is one of them. Howard Stern's another one of them. I wouldn't just casually walk up to Howard after all the crap I've said over the years and go, hey, Howard. So Anthony, delusional, goes up to Bill Burr. Anthony leans in. He's like, Billy. That's my impression. That's how he does it. Bill, hey. Like it's no big deal, right? Let's talk this out. Wow. And supposedly Bill Burr goes, dude, not dude. It was dude. Why are you talking to me or something like that? With all the stuff you have said about, I believe he said, my wife. Why are you talking to me? And Bill was very, very annoyed. And I don't blame him because, like I said a little while ago, man, Anthony crossed the line by all that garbage he has said. So live with it. If that's how you want to be a race nut, a gun nut, and you want to just spew crazy ass crap on your stuff about people, you got to live with the consequences. I live with my consequences. I know the crap I've said about people. I know. I'm not stupid. Not working it out anytime soon with some of these people. So Bill had every right to be beyond pissed. And I don't even know the extent. I just know in broad strokes that he's been incredibly crappy towards Bill Burr. And here's something for all the people out there. Bill Burr owes Opie and Anthony nothing. Literally nothing. Bill Burr was going to be a huge success whether he was on our show or not. He owes us nothing. And I appreciate everything he did for Opie and Anthony and me personally over the years. He never said no to me when I got my podcast off the ground and I was struggling to find an audience. He fucking did my podcast. He didn't pull a Joe Rogan and ignore me. I texted him, hey, Bill, I hear you're in town. Can you do my podcast? He was massively huge. Know what he was doing? He was getting ready to play Madison Square Garden, but he found the time to do my podcast. He's the real deal. He never forgot his time on the Opie and Anthony Show and what we did for him. But in the end, we owe him nothing. The guy was going to be a huge success. He's an incredible talent. He's one for our generation. And we were lucky to have him part of the Opie and Anthony Show. So then Bill's like, Kenny, I guess he called Kenny. And guess what? Kenny doesn't work for Opie and Anthony anymore. Kenny doesn't work for me. Kenny doesn't work for Anthony. Kenny works for Bill effing Burr, who's huge around the world. And Kenny's going to protect his guy. That's what he does. He's a robot in human flesh, Club Soda Kenny. And I mean that as a compliment. So, of course, he's going to get right in there. And, of course, if Bill Burr's upset, and, of course, Kenny knows the back history of all the crap that happened, he's going to get Anthony the F away from Bill Burr. So, supposedly, he chest bumped him. That means Kenny was being kind. That means Kenny did remember working on the Opie and Anthony Show. Because I've seen Kenny do some crazy-ass things. So because he only chest bumped Anthony out of the Comedy Cellar, that somewhere in his dumb, robotic brain, he knew and remembered his time on the Opie and Anthony Show. But he don't work for us, man. I'm sure Bill Burr takes care of him, man. I know the crap I had to deal with my level of fame and having Club Soda Kenny there, full-time security, the shit he did for me and my family. And guess what? Bill Burr is like a minimum of 10 times more famous than I ever was. So the crap Kenny has to deal with, he's going to take everything seriously. Everything. All right, let's now go to Jim Norton and see what he has to say about the big Bill Burr versus Anthony Cumia. Oh! As he's balancing his stupid taint. His stupid worn-out taint right in the middle of the fence. Well, you know, who can help me more? Obviously Bill Burr can help me more, so I gotta lean this way a little bit, but you never know, Anthony can get hot again. Everyone wanted my 2 cents. There's my stupid 2 cents that everybody wanted today. Everybody needed my 2 cents on this garbage. I try to tell you, Anthony's not right. He's kind of delusional. You can't spew the garbage he spews and then assume everyone's going to be okay with it. So live with it. Live with it. Live with it. But you casually walk over to Bill like, oh, Bill's going to understand everything by now. We're going to work it out. No, you don't work it out. No. I've said some crazy, outrageous stuff. I've burned a lot of bridges. I'm not going to try to rebuild the bridge. I'm not going to walk up to Howard. Hey, Howard, hi. I did try through people we both knew. Very carefully. I didn't approach him with like, hey, Howard, why don't we try to work this out? Burr can talk S and joke about white women, and now he gets pissy when someone talks shit about no. I'm done. I'm done with you. No, I'm done. No, he Anthony talks about his wife. Are you married? Do you have anyone in your life that you love? That's a game changer. That's stepping over the line. Stop justifying. Anthony's got to stop justifying. Has got to stop playing the victim. Just go all in with your garbage and know that people are don't like you because you do that type of stuff, and just own it. You can't have it both ways. You can't trash black people on a regular basis. You can't trash Bill Burr's wife and then assume Bill's going to have a conversation with you. It doesn't work. The list of people that have turned their back on Anthony, it's growing. It's growing by the week at this point. There's a whole list out there. Ant destroyed you last week. I don't care. Anthony has no credibility whatsoever. So, did he destroy me? What did Jim Norton do? This is Jim trying to balance on the fence. How do I do this? I got to talk to both these guys now. And hopefully neither guy will know that will be on to me, I should say. Shut up. He can destroy me all he wants. He has no credibility. Zero. Jim Norton. Oh boy, Jim, are you in a pickle? How are you going to handle this one, Jimmy? God, are you in a pickle? Bill Burr could do a lot for your career, but you don't want to lose the O&A audience by going against Anthony. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, brother? Bunch of phonies. Absolute phonies. Oh my God. I watched the video. Like I said, I went against my own rules twice in 1 week, and I'll certainly go back to not clicking on anything. I even told this one guy that sends me a lot of stuff. I go, my rule, I don't click on it. I don't click on anything. So you got to tell me what's going on. And then sometimes I get broad strokes on things, and then I could piece things together a little bit, but I'm like, oh God, everyone's talking about this. Everyone's tweeting me. Let me see what he said. I can't imagine going up to someone that I beat the crap out of in a bar setting, especially. Go, oh, I think they'll understand. I think they'll understand. God, it's crazy. It's crazy. It really is. If you want to be the crappy race guy, then own that and just go all in with your crappy race conversations and talk. Then do it. But don't expect people to understand, because they're not going to understand, especially when you take shots at their wife. It's simple as that. They're not going to understand that ever. I'm going to say it without saying what the conversation was. I talked to Bill today. But it's, it's, what I said. I was like, I'll say this much. I told him, sorry you have to deal with this. Just leave Bill Burr alone, and he doesn't want anything to do with you. It's nuts. Anthony Cumia hasn't taken responsibility for anything. I need to take responsibility for more stuff. I understand that. But he hasn't taken responsibility for nothing. I'm a revisionist man. Am I a revisionist man? Am I? I'm so sick, like everyone. What do you think? You better stick up for Anthony on this. Why? Why should I? Guy's been shitty to me for more years than I can count. He's pulled a whole bunch of crappy things against me. And Kenny was being kind, man. And Anthony knows too. I think Anthony would admit, thank God Kenny was being kind to me, because Kenny is really scary, and when he has to, he's a mother effer. So I think he was actually showing Anthony respect by only chest bumping him out of the Comedy Cellar. Kenny don't play. And Kenny has nothing to do with the Opie and Anthony world anymore. He has nothing to do with me. He has nothing to do with Anthony. He has to take care of a guy that sells out all over the world. All over the world. And like I said earlier, Bill Burr owes Opie and Anthony nothing. Zero. We were lucky to have him on our show. That guy was going to be massively famous no matter what, including, I saw this online, the Philly rant that went viral because of Opie and Anthony. That's why Bill Burr's so famous. He was going to be famous no matter what, brothers and sisters. Can I get an amen? Cheers. Yeah, my headline is, it's really simple. I'll stop, but it's really simple. If Anthony wants to do that race crap, he's going to piss off a lot of people, and they're not going to play the same game as you. So own it and know that these people don't want anything to do with you. And stop trying to, play it both ways. Oh, Jim Norton's about to say, whoa. Jim Norton, the old fence sitter. Jim Norton once told me, man, we talked about Anthony and the stuff that was going on back in the day. And Jimmy once told me that Anthony did something so bad that he will never forgive him for it, but they're friends. This is the garbage. This is the garbage that I had to listen to. Love the recent you, Ope. Keep it up with the vegetables. Keep talking with passion. Just have fun. Build some bridges. Laugh at yourself. I got my bridges. I got my new people. I'm having a damn good time. I told the vegetables that today might be a little tense because I had to deal with this garbage instead of sitting there dancing with the vegetables. But I'll have them on soon. But thank you. I got my own thing going. But I get pulled in all the time, and I say, no. I'm trying to move on. No. I get bombarded with this crap day in and day out. No. Well, if you want to move on, then just move on. I would love to. People pull me in every single effing day. Why do you use hashtags if you want to move on? Because I'm not doing this for the fun of it. I like doing this. I have my group. I got my private Facebook people, and there are a whole bunch of people that pop on this thing that I love seeing. Yes, but I'm also doing this to try to make some money. And the hashtag Opie and Opie and Anthony is worth a bloody fortune. That's why I use the hashtags on my videos. I'm not doing this completely for the fun of it. Still want to make a few bucks. I'm not going to just blow off the Opie and Anthony hashtag. It's worth millions. That's why I do that. I mean, no, Anthony's dumb for thinking that he could play it both ways. My advice is simple to the guy. Just be that racist ass. Whatever. I'm trying to be a little kind. And just own it. And know that people don't like you for it. And they're never going to like you for it. Nah, man. He's got his fans, man. No matter who you are in this world, you got your fans. But I think a whole bunch of good people were stripped away from the O&A fan base over the years. A whole bunch of good people. Like I said, recently, I don't understand why Anthony would go down that road. I literally had no idea. The guy was incredibly talented. And there were times when it was Bill Burr and Anthony in studio back in the day. Anthony more than held his own. And he had days where he was funnier and better than Bill Burr. Yes, I will admit that another 100 times. And then somewhere in there, none of us knew the extent of it. He would mess with the race crap, and it was kind of funny, and we'd laugh, And then all of a sudden it became dead serious and real, and he blew off being one of the funniest guys in the country, maybe even in the world, to obsess about race. And I'm a bitter guy because it's kind of really hurt the legacy of Opie and Anthony. There's a ton of money that was still to be made. And F me, he should have, at the very least, if he would have just stayed on the path that made that made himself and the Opie and Anthony show successful. Without me, he would have still made millions of dollars. But whatever's in his head that he has to obsess about race got the best of him. Oh, am I? Morse, am I? No, this is called being real instead of being Jim Norton. Oh, well, I'm going to have to see Bill Burr. And then, well, if I say anything bad about Anthony, oh, I'll just keep sitting on the fence with my taint. Whoa! Anthony still works with Gavin, who is still active with the Proud Boys. Delusional is right, as he expects this not to impact friends and business. Yeah, man. I mean, if that's what you want to do with your business, so be it. But thank you, Morley. But it absolutely impacts friendships. 100. You need to boot some of these Anthony Cumia meat riders. Oh, LOL. Their Grand Dragon got punked and they're salty. Look, they're going to defend Anthony right to his last day. I understand that, but right is right. Bill Burr doesn't want anything to do with you because you said some really crappy things. So accept that. I mean, the chest, there would have been a time we would have laughed our asses off about Club Soda Kenny chest bumping him out of the cellar. Look, this is going to sound crazy, but if we're talking about, let's talk about it. And Anthony knows this. I never saw Club Soda Kenny chest bump anybody. No. He never chest bumped anyone. It was way uglier than that when we had situations and problems. So Kenny chest bumping him, if that's exactly what happened, I think that's what I heard Anthony say in his video. That means somewhere in Kenny's brain, he had those weird sci-fi movies where all of a sudden the person's like, wait, this seems familiar. Wait. And they have a thought, but they don't really know what's going on because maybe their brain was reprogrammed or something in the sci-fi film, but something sparks some kind of memory. That's what Kenny went like this sideways, like he's looking at Anthony. He's a threat to, no offense to Club Soda Kenny's meal ticket. So the threat is there. It's Anthony Cumia. And also like Kenny's looking at him like he's a complete stranger, but something in his robotic brain. And I love you, Kenny. You know that. His robotic brain went like this. What? But he didn't really know exactly, but he knew, wait a minute. Something about this person is familiar. And then he chest bumped him out of the cellar. That part of it is hilarious. Look, and I hope Anthony laughs at that part of it because that part is hilarious because he knows. We saw Kenny do crazy things, man. Crazy things that had to happen, unfortunately. But Kenny walked up to Anthony like, danger, danger, danger. I got to remove the danger. And then went. Chest bumps. Anthony, consider yourself lucky. $10. Read it cold. What the hell? Ian. Ant is a funny guy. Usually funny people are painfully self-aware. He's gone down a strange rabbit hole, and he can't seem to see how that's a huge turnoff to many people who admired him. I think that's a very fair statement right there. Very fair statement, Ian H. $10. Starting to actually feel sorry for Anthony because, like, the guy was incredibly talented, incredibly funny, and he can still go, I'm still funny. But look, I think we all have to deal with the darkness and the light. And a lot of times it's a struggle. A lot of times some of that darkness gets a hold of me, I should say. But Anthony's allowing that darkness to get the best of him. Guy, I would sit there some days in amazement. Like we would have like Chris Rock in or Kevin Hart, and Anthony's just destroying. The only one in Anthony's prime that it was like a toe-to-toe challenge, think Joe Frazier and like Muhammad Ali, was Patrice O'Neal. But there were days he was even funnier than Patrice O'Neal. But other guys, he knocked him out in the first round. I'm sitting there like, holy crap, Anthony's way funnier than Chris Rock today. Or holy crap, he's way funnier than Kevin Hart. The list goes on and on. And then I would sit there on this stupid show, and day after day, more race discussion was coming in, more gun talk. And I'm like, what is going on right in front of my eyes? And that, my friends, is why I sat on my stupid hands and became wallpaper on my my own show. It happened so slowly, and then by the time it was like it was too late. It was too late. Oh, F Sam Roberts. Oh, went full Tupac. Hit him up. Get him up. Now I'm just sick of it because Anthony pulled the same garbage with me and then started not understanding why I don't want anything to do with him. Crossed many lines with me that I'm not getting into today. I mean, I have in the past, and I certainly could go back down that road. But like, those two things don't work. Take your shots, say stupid things, but understand eventually it's going to be the point of no return. I got a few of those people in my life. I'm not sitting here acting like I'm innocent. I am guilty as charged. Me and Trump in a cell together because I'm guilty as charged. But I'm not stupid enough to go casually walking up to the guy in a very social environment. Come on. Hey, Bill. Hey, Bill. Dude, what the F? That's exactly how Bill should have handled it. I said, I talked to, well, I don't want to I probably said it wrong a little earlier. I talked to Bill today in text message. Yes, I did. And I actually called Kenny. He hasn't called me back yet. We'll see. I actually have other things to talk to Kenny about, but I did call Kenny today. He didn't call me back, and I went, and me and Bill texted a little bit today. Yes, Bill has never blown me off, never. I try not to bother him because I know he's massively huge. I guarantee if I said, Bill, can you come on my live stream? Well, maybe not now with all the craziness going on, he would do it. But for whatever reason, I don't push that anymore. When I first got my podcast going and I needed the help, yes, I reached out to some heavy hitters, and he was there for me and gave me a great episode. It meant nothing to him. He wasn't going to get shit out of it. He was like in town to do Madison Square Garden. He knew I couldn't do anything for him anymore. He knew it. That's the problem with a lot of these comedians that are like all about like, make sure you watch blah, blah special. He's the best in the business. Oh, God. As soon as that person leaves the cellar, they're trash talking that. Why him? Are you kidding me? Should be me. But online, oh, my God, we're one big happy family. You guys see it. Every time a comedian has a new special, all the comedians jump on their social media to try to push and help that guy, which is nice, obviously, but it's all BS. It's all BS. Grizz Few. Was there a specific moment it turned for him? He wasn't all in on race at AF, was he? Was he dropping N-bombs on Nick Carter? I had a video out recently because Anthony really helped with an analogy that I actually use to this day when it comes to like taxes and stuff and how the government and politicians screw us, and they do it with like if you put a lobster in a pot of water that's cold and then you start boiling the water, the lobster for the longest time isn't going to notice anything. So if when you throw the lobster in boiling hot water, it's a whole different thing. So with Anthony, it just started trickling in here and there a little bit, but he was keeping it funny. And I'm like, look, I for the most part don't have many regrets as far as the Opie and Anthony show goes, but we did some crazy ass, very edgy, a lot of wrong material, but I always felt like I could sleep well at night because we were entertaining the people and making it really, really funny. And I didn't really feel like people were taking us that seriously when we were losing our minds and going nuts about things. And then there was the switch where all of a sudden these rants by Anthony were like more real and less funny. And I mean, my thing is, I think it started when he realized that Obama had a real shot at the White House. I could be wrong, but that's what I saw, that he seemed to change when that whole thing was going down. And then he just got more and more into it. The final years of O&A, the first hour was me and excuse me, Jimmy, to a certain extent, just sitting there while Anthony would rant and rave about black people in America and guns. And I'm like, are we going to get to what this show really is about? we knew every day the first hour would be just Anthony just yelling and screaming and losing his mind. The lunacy of it. I would love to know some of these Anthony fans, like, really, you can't see what really has been going on. You have to defend the guy that much. Oh, like Bill's going to be, oh, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up? I know you took shots at my wife and you don't like black people, but what's going on? Why don't you sit down? No, it doesn't work. That's my whole point. This live stream could have been 1 minute. It doesn't work. Any good Master Poe stories? JD Straight Shot. What's going on, JD? Yeah, he was another guy, man. Back in the day, Club Soda Kenny and Master Poe weren't chest bumping people out of the Comedy Cellar. Like I said, when Kenny saw the threat to Bill Burr, there was no recognition. Now, this is a bit idiots because some of these people be like, of course he still remembers Anthony. But the bit is, I know Kenny. He's the closest thing we'll have to a robot hybrid. He's a robot with human flesh. And my point is, all he saw at the Cellar, that's why I'm sure Bill Burr, pays him very well. He saw Anthony as a threat and didn't really remember Anthony, but something in his reprogrammed brain went, where's GH? Something's familiar here, GH. I can't quite put my finger on it, GH, but this guy's a threat. Wait, but something's sort of familiar here. Kenny showed Anthony respect, believe it or not, by just chest bumping him out of the Comedy Cellar. And I know people are pissed off at that. You support Anthony and you're mad. But look, you came to the source. Kenny was my bodyguard, my main security for years, and he is a scary dude when he has to be, and I never saw him chest bump people. I saw him take people down. He did stuff that I've never talked about. Never. We got ourselves in some situations, and he didn't chest bump anybody. Chest bump? That's because he does probably still understand, his association with the Opie and Anthony show. But that's my whole point. Like, you take shots and say you're stupid crap. People are going to get to the point where they don't want to work it out with you anymore. I understand that. I completely understand that. And Anthony should understand that. He should take the L and go, oh, man, all right, yeah, I guess I could see why. Maybe an A for trying, maybe an A for effort. I don't know, but yeah, I guess. All right. I'll take the L on this. Oh, let's go back to Jim Norm. Jim, what do you think about the Anthony and Bill Burr thing? I don't know if I can sit on this fence too much longer. Are you mad, Jimmy? so glad that people know what that guy's about finally. The fence sitter. Christ, he saw all the heat and all the hate I was getting when Anthony blew himself up and we moved on. When Jimmy was the first person to call me and go, we need to continue. He would continue without you. And he knows he said that. And then Sam running to this house and saying to me, you should get rid of Jimmy. You should get rid of Jimmy. Anthony's gone. You should get rid of Jimmy. And Jimmy now works with the guy. This is the craziness of the whole damn thing. And I don't need to keep my mouth shut about any of it anymore. Thank God. Thank God. And I sat there when I was doing the show with Jimmy, getting incredible hate, death threats, stuff that Kenny had to deal with, by the way. Crazy stuff. And Jimmy knew it. But, I like the money and the exposure Sirius XM gives me, and I don't really like working with Opie, and I don't respect him. But if I went with Anthony, I wouldn't make any money. I wouldn't sell any tickets. So he sat there and allowed me to get all that hate. All that hate, and he would defend Anthony on the show where I was getting all the hate. That's why, Jimmy, you can't figure this out by now. People ask, why didn't you go to the Patrice O'Neal benefit? It was Tuesday. Actually, I was talking to Bill Burr about that about a month ago. And I was asking about it and this and that. And I was trying to find out who was going to be there. Know why I didn't go? Because I'm not stupid. Phil D. Roll, thanks for the $2. I'm not stupid. There were people there that hate my effing guts because of the things I said. It would have been really, really awkward. So you got to live with it, Anthony. I live with it. I would have loved to gone to the Patrice O'Neal benefit. Then I was thinking maybe I could. Honestly, in the end, I forgot it was Tuesday. We talked about this on the live stream, but I would have loved to maybe even just be in the back row checking it all out. But the reason why I didn't go there, and the reason why I don't go to certain things, like I missed the Fez thing, is because I know I'm going to be in front of people that hate my guts because of the things I said. So I own that. You can't have it both ways. Oh, hey, what's up? I know I've been trashing on my live stream for the last few years, but hey, what's going on, man? Hey, you want to work it out? Working it out at the cellar. Are you crazy? I haven't been to the cellar in years, but you don't work out anything there. You walk in and they make fun of your stupid shirt for 3 hours. That's the Comedy Cellar in a nutshell. You don't work out anything there. How delusional are you that you walked up to Bill Burr? Hey, Billy. Come on. Oh, God. Not going to lie, I'm glad I clicked on the video. Like, I went against my own rule, but I'm glad I did because it was really entertaining. The best part was Kenny chest bumping him out of the Comedy Cellar. I'm obsessed with that one line. I basically have seen Kenny knock people's teeth into the back of their head. So that was Kenny going, oh, okay, I kind of, I respect my time with O&A, so I'm just only going to chest bump you out of here. You kidding me? Do people understand how big Bill Burr's gotten? He's massively huge around the world. And Kenny's job is to protect the guy now. Oh, go up to Howard. Ronnie will chest bump you in the knees. Ronnie was always cool to me, but oh my God, if I went up to Howard like Anthony went up to Bill Burr, I'm sure Ronnie would have hurt me. He would have hurt me. He's not going to be like, oh, wait, let me try to see what's going on here. No, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. He would have hurt me. Ronnie would have hurt me. I was comfortable around Ronnie, who's obviously was Howard's main guy forever. I think he lives in Vegas now or something. I don't know what that relationship is about anymore, but I knew when I was around Ronnie to be very respectful because he knew all the crazy stuff I said about Howard. And I also felt comfortable because guess what? I had Club Soda Kenny right next to me. It was like an arms race with the missiles just like this. And know what ended up happening? When we would listen to Ronnie tell fun jokes in the elevator as we went down to the street after the radio show at Sirius XM. But I knew if I crossed the line and tried to talk to Howard out of nowhere, that Ronnie would have hurt me. He would absolutely hurt me badly. Anthony has always been a, whoa, hey, I think his problem is that his, oh, hey, wasn't a problem for Bill till he couldn't help him make money. What are you talking about? You know how long it was ago that Bill Burr was making money off Opie and Anthony? I remember the day Bill Burr came to me. We had a channel. We were getting shows for the channel. We had Joe Rogan and Bill Burr on the weekends. And to the stupid CEO out there, you had two of the biggest podcasters in the world in front of you, and you didn't know what to do with it. So why don't you give Dennis Falcone his job back? Oh, my God. And they famously said to me, we don't need Bill Burr. We don't need Joe Rogan. Most people know that story by now. And the whole reason that came about was because Bill Burr finally got to a point in his career. He's like, oh, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but basically he was like, hey, man, I've done a lot for you guys. You've done a lot for me. He's always acknowledged what we did do for him. And he goes, but I'm at the point in my career where I want to make money on all my stuff. I don't want to give anything away for free anymore. And I got it. I understood. And then he's like, I just need to get paid if you're going to be playing my stuff on weekends. And he didn't even want a lot. Like me with these super chats. I don't want a lot. It's just nice that people pay me to you know, see me rant like a lunatic today. He didn't want or need a lot. So I'm like, all right, I forgot the number. It was literally nothing. The principle was he just wanted to be paid for his content at this point in his career. This goes back a million years, by the way. At this point, it might be 10 years. I don't know. So I went to the company. I was like, you know, Bill, you know, he wants a few bucks. And they said no. They said no. And then famously, Joe Rogan said, look, you know, you're cutting up my show on weekends. He didn't even want money. Joe was like, I want you to play my show in its entirety. And they had these stupid blocks because radio people are stupid. Everything has to fit in blocks and formats. So I went to the people again. I said, you know, Rogan wants his whole show played. He doesn't want to cut up because they would just take an hour of it to fit into one of their dumb blocks. And they famously said, yeah, we don't need him. We don't need Joe. We don't need Bill. Oh, we don't, huh? We saw it. I'll say we on that one. We saw it. These guys were on their way. It would have been a different world if they took care of Bill Burr and Rogan. Who knows what would have happened? But they quickly said, all right, well, you know, we'll still do your show, but, you know, there's a line in the sand for us. And I understood it at the time, and I think the rest of the guys did. And that was that. And we leave you on this Good Friday. Jim, what do you think of the Bill Burr and Anthony Cumia thing? Fence sitter. I don't know how much longer I can balance on this fence. Ooh. What do you think, Jim? What do you think about the whole thing? Who's right and who's wrong? Because because you know Anthony's wrong. You know it. Will you say it? Hell no. Hell to the nah. Hell nah. Have a great Easter, guys, for real. And if you were triggered, whatever. Get over it.